Welcome to the Maverick Media Network. We are coming to you again from El Ranchito Restaurant, located just south of Germantown High School, right out the back entrance, alongside head football coach Russell Mitchell. My name is Brian Hardy. I'm your host for this week's episode of the Checkdown with Coach Mitchell. Coach, past 4 weeks you've been preparing, practicing, and having to play Starkville at home, Oxford on the road, Madison Central at home, and then this Friday night traveled over to Clinton and defeated the Clinton Arrows by a score of 47-17. We're not going to dismiss this week's opponent in Murrah, and we'll talk a little bit about them later, but after going through that gauntlet of 4 straight weeks, and not to mention a 5-week stretch ahead of that, which showed, some of the best football around outside of our region. Have you had a chance to relax and breathe a little bit?
Yeah. It's a grind, and our schedule is very demanding in terms of the level of opponent we play. I was looking at one of those, that Max Preps thing. I think it said we played the second toughest schedule in the state behind Brandon. So, I think our team's battle tested. We've earned a home playoff game next Friday at home. So excited about that, and excited about the challenges we've had throughout the season to prepare us for that type of test that it's going to be, and hopefully a 4-week stretch in the playoffs of playing top competition. It'll be something that we're accustomed to.
Let's talk a little bit about Friday night's game. Big win over the Clinton Arrows again by a score of 47-17. I know last week and on the show, and then also just in the office over there, a sense of worry came about you as far as how motivated you guys would be to play coming off a big win against Madison Central the week before. I did notice you let about 4 guys play quarterback the other night. Was that part of your plan in helping motivate them, or, a game was on Halloween? Are you a big Halloween guy and maybe just trying to stick with a theme? Tell us a little bit about that. That was one of the most exciting halves of football I have ever seen.
Well, the kids accuse us of it all the time, practicing those trick plays, and never called them in the game. So after, like I say, a 3-week brutal stretch, we just decided we were going to run them all in the first quarter. So I think that, made our kids perk up and look forward to the game maybe a litch bit more. And makes you look smart when they work. So, but now 4 of our first 10 were gimmicks, and it worked out. So, and it helped us build an early lead against a really good defense. And we felt like if we could build a lead against a good defense, we'd come back and try to run the ball later in the game, which we did. Nia Johnson had a really big night, 29 carries for 190 yards. It was nice to have Jeremy Matthews back on the offensive line. His first game he's been able to play coming back off a broken leg, and looked like he never missed a beat. I mean, if you just turned the film on, you just thought he'd been in there all year. And he played really well for us, so it was exciting and gratifying to see him have a good game and get to enjoy his senior year. So hopefully this team's coming together at the right time. Our defense played really well. Parker McGee had a monster night, 16 tackles, 6 tackles for loss. He was all over the field making big plays, and I thought our defense played hard for 4 quarters, which is something we've been challenging them to do week after week. I thought their effort was consistent throughout the whole game, and that's what it takes to beat a good opponent. So just really proud of the effort. Well,
you touched on a couple of things there that I want to continue with. That was my 2 big takeaways from Friday night. One is, we joke around about the trick plays, but it does make the other opponents that you'll have to see later on have a lot more difficulty preparing for, our football team in the playoffs. And then
and we just got guys who can throw the ball.
Yeah, I mean got great athletes.
Yeah, Mike Johnson can throw the heck out of football, and Nye can throw, and Keyshawn can throw, Will can throw. We got all kind of guys on the team can throw. Langston can throw. So, we let them have some fun and give them something to look forward to, and that's why those plays work.
I think it played a huge part in motivating those guys, knowing they were going to get to do that, prior to the game. And you mentioned this a minute ago, and I don't want to miss this part. I think you're getting hot at the right time.
Well, we're as healthy as we've been all year, which is important. If you can go through that stretch of games and remain healthy, that's big, and a lot of that's luck, So we're fortunate to have most of our guys available, and just looking forward to how far this team can take it.
Mavericks go on the road to win a big one against the Clinton Arrows this past Friday night by a score of 47-17. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, Coach Mitchell is going to talk a little bit about the Murrah Mustangs. Got a lot of activities and performances and recognitions that will also be going on. This week will be a Thursday night kickoff at, hang on just a second there, my notes. Thursday night kick at the ranch at 7 o'clock versus the Murrah Mustangs. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back after these messages.
Mac Haik in Madison Gluckstadt is your #1 source for cars, trucks, and SUVs. Mac Haik in Madison Gluckstadt is not just a dealership, it's your dealership with great deals on Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Chevrolet, be it new or pre-owned inventory. Mac Haik in Madison Gluckstadt wants to take you to the ball game on Fridays, the trips on the weekend, and get you home safely on a daily basis. Learn more today at MacHikeMadison.com. You want a deal? Come get one in Madison Gluckstadt. Proud sponsor of Germantown Athletics. Go Mavs!
At Davini Equipment, community matters. We're the hometown name you can trust, serving the community for over 50 years. As one of the oldest Kubota dealers in the U.S., we've been selling tough, durable equipment for residential and commercial buyers. Davini and Kubota are synonymous for quality and dependability. We're locally owned and operated, so when you come to Davini, we'll treat you like family. Come see us at Davini Equipment, with 2 locations in Madison and Jackson.
Scott, how are you?
At Community Bank, we're not just bankers. We're Little League soccer coaches, ballet teachers,
Thank you so much for coming in.
and volunteer firemen. We're part of the community just like you. And we care about all the same things you do. So whether you're opening your first account or taking ballet, we're committed to our community. Community Bank, for over 120 years.
When I got hurt, our first call was Dr. Burrow with sports medicine. I was like, Dr. Burrow, I need you to help me get back on the field as fast as possible. And he did that.
7 years ago, my sophomore year of high school, I tore my ACL and meniscus. That's something that I'll always appreciate, is just how much they helped us get back on the field and play the sport that we love.
If you've listed your property for sale by owner and nothing's happening, here are the most common reasons why. The property is either overvalued or it's not getting enough exposure in the market. Opting for a real estate agent offers several benefits. With access to extensive marketing resources, including MLS, LandWatch, and other national marketing outlets, we can ensure your property gains maximum visibility. Our agents bring expertise in pricing analysis, ensuring your property is competitively priced for the market. You can trust Pursuit Properties to leverage our marketing abilities and industry knowledge, guiding you through a seamless selling process and maximizing your property's value. We are always in pursuit.
We're back here on this week's episode of the Checkdown with Coach Mitchell. This segment is brought to you by PJ's Coffee of New Orleans, our halftime and post-game sponsor on the live stream each week. PJ's Coffee of New Orleans, located right off of Lake Harbor Drive in Ridgeland. Coach, got the Murrah Mustangs coming in. This will be a Thursday night game. I want you to explain to everyone maybe a little bit behind why we're playing on Thursday in just a moment. It'll be a 7 o'clock kick. And once you kind of set the table as to why that game will be played on Thursday versus Friday, tell us a little bit about the Murrah Mustangs.
Well, a lot of classifications, they start their playoffs this Friday. So in an effort to get the best officials on the field, they push the, I think it's 6A and 7A games to Thursday, so that some of those crews can double up Thursday and Friday night. So that's the reason behind the Thursday night scheduling. It's some MHSA mandated Thursday night scheduling for the final week of the regular season. But it just pushes everything up a day in terms of our preparation, and it'll give us an extra day to prepare for that first round playoff game. So we're looking forward to the challenge, and want to close the regular season out on a strong note. It's going to be senior night. We'll be recognizing our seniors and trying to do some special things for them all week, let them know how much we appreciate them. It's a good group. So just looking forward to getting Murrah in here and closing the regular season out strong.
Murrah Mustangs not having a great season. Obviously, you can tell that through the record, but, they're always going to have athletes. And just quite frankly, you got to tip your hat and show a lot of respect to a bunch that continues to fight, especially in a region this tough.
Yeah, they the past 2 years they chose to play an independent schedule, so they haven't competed for the playoffs the past 2 seasons, and they're back with us this year. So they give us a 6th team in our region, and you're right, they've got some speed, got some athleticism, provide some challenges for you, stopping them and moving the football, and so we'll be prepared. We'll do our normal routine and be ready to go, and hope to get off to a fast start and never look back.
Pre-game, we're going to honor or recognize our senior football members. We'll also recognize senior cheer and dance members, as well as senior recognition for our band members. Coach, I want you to, I know you want to talk about this senior group. This group is a group that's been with you the entire time. When you came to Germantown, they have set the bar as far as competing in at the highest level in Mississippi, and at a time when maybe there were people out there that didn't think that could happen at Germantown. They've been with you the entire time and proved to not only the people in Gluckstadt, but the people across the state of Mississippi that Germantown football can compete at the highest level.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. These kids were in 9th grade when I got here the first year. One of the core memories for this group for me will always be that 4 overtime game they played against Rosa Scott over there in 9th grade. We came out on the wrong end of that one, but it was a heck of a ball game, and a lot of them came along the next year and contributed as sophomores. I think everybody can remember Nye Johnson rushing for nearly 300 yards against Starkville when we beat them 2 years ago, and just Jeremy Matthews, 3-year starter on the offensive line, running the ball behind Will Harris the last 2 years, and Parker McGee and Zach Cawthon and Weston Worst. I could keep going and going, and that's why we're going to recognize them all Fridays, just because they've contributed so much, and they're special to me. They're the first group I've ever seen all the way through high school as a head coach. So we're going to miss those guys, but like I say, thankfully we put ourselves in a position to make a playoff run, and that's what we want to do, and that's what we're talking about every day, is doing everything we can to prepare to make a deep run in these playoffs, and ultimately our ultimate goal is to win a state championship. So they're excited about that opportunity. I think they want to go out the right way, and most of all, I'm just proud of the way they've represented our school over the past 4 years as student athletes. There's a lot of really good kids that come from really good families that do it in the classroom, do it on the field, off the field. Really, really special group, a big group of kids. So better make sure we start on time recognizing. I think it's going to be over 100 kids by the time we get done recognizing cheer, dance, band, and football. So, but we know you got that taken care of.
Well, if we kick it late, y'all just throw the flag on me. This special group, hits inside of my home too. We've got a senior at the house, and I've watched these guys that will be out there being recognized since a lot of them since they were in kindergarten, and you hit it right on the head. Great families, great kids, and without a doubt have created a culture inside Germantown High School football.
They've been a big part of it. There's no doubt about it. Guys like Cam Porter, we weighed him yesterday, 212-pound center, and he's one of the best football players we got on the team. And Lawson Branson, all the touchdowns and highlights he's made throughout the years, and Jaden Gross and Dylan Travis, another 3-year starter. and Aaron Farrell, who's contributed on this team for 3 years. And, I could go on and on. We've had a few transferred in that have been difference makers, obviously, with King and Keyshawn and Mikey. So it's a really, really deep group, a really, really good group, a group that's paid the price and done it the right way.
You mentioned earlier playoff picture. Let's talk a little bit about that. Got to take care of business Thursday night. Obviously that's a first thing. We got to get through Murray and make sure that we go out and do what everyone expects us to do, and I think obviously we will. Looks like we're guaranteed a home game, which you said would be next Friday night, November the 14th. Do you know who that opponent might be and anything about that situation?
If Tupelo beats DeSoto Central, we'll get DeSoto Central.
Okay.
That's kind of the way we kind of what we're expecting. If DeSoto Central upsets Tupelo, we'll get Horn Lake. So that's kind of where it is. But we're just trying to focus on us this week, trying to do everything we can to get better and honor these seniors, and that's our focus this week, is focusing on us, getting better at the fundamentals, keeping our conditioning up, doing a good job of taking care of our bodies in the weight room and nutrition-wise and rest and hydration and all the things we talk about throughout the season. So, but again, just a really, really special group when you think about kids like Max Smith, who had a big interception for us in the Clinton game last week, and I'm sure I'm leaving some out, but
you got a bunch of them.
It's a bunch to remember. But they're a special group. They're a tight knit group. We had a chance to have a team meal last night over at Soulshine. Our representative Jonathan McMillan treated the seniors to dinner, so we appreciate him and appreciate that opportunity to get the guys together and just do some team bonding and brotherhood. That was a fun night. It's kind of we've got a strong community and strong families and a strong group of kids here that we're going to celebrate Friday night. Or Thursday night, sorry.
That's right.
Don't come on Friday. Won't be anybody here on Friday. It's Thursday night.
I know one guy that ain't going to be here Friday night. I'm going home. We don't get a chance to go home very often, so I'm going to do that. Closing comments, anything you want to say before we replace you with Athletic Director Coach Greg Perry?
Let's get him on in here. I've said my spiel. So.
Well, as always, thank you for being with us and setting the time aside in order to make this happen.
We're going to give Coach Blaine a shout-out. He does an awesome job with our live stream, Coach's Show, and the social media, the sports marketing students, they really do a good job of putting this all together, and so we appreciate everything y'all are doing.
Again, Thursday night, make sure you get here early. We'll try to start senior recognition about 6:30 prior to the kickoff at 7 o'clock versus the Murrah Mustangs. And senior recognition will lead us all the way up to kickoff. And then at halftime, we've got a group of kids that are students, that have made 30 or above on the ACT that we want to recognize, as well as some national merit finalists. So you don't want to miss that at halftime. We'll also get to see a combined performance between our high school and 8th grade band, and then our Germantown State Championship band will perform their show one last time this year at halftime for everyone to see. So big night for community. Let's get out and enjoy a Thursday night of football at the ranch. When we come back, we'll sit down with Athletic Director Greg Perry and get caught up on everything else inside of Germantown Athletics. We'll take a couple minutes and we'll be right back here at El Ranchito Restaurant.
Building a life is different for everyone because everyone is different. That's why State Farm is there.
Call State Farm agent Matt Guillory for a quote today.
Mike Rowe here with the name every Memphis homeowner should know, Groundworks. Now, I've spent time with these guys, and I'll tell you, they handle crawl space, encapsulation, and foundation repair like no one else. They're trained, certified, and committed to making your experience great. You want to protect your biggest investment? The name to know is Groundworks, now serving Memphis for crawl space and foundation repair. Why don't you give them a call and tell them Mike sent you?
Welcome to Timber Tavern Axe Throwing, the one and only spot for non-stop fun, delicious food, and epic axe throwing right here in town. Whether you're out for a wild night with friends, a one-of-a-kind date, or some serious team bonding, Timber Tavern is where the magic happens. New to axe throwing? Don't sweat it. Our expert instructors will have you hitting bullseyes in no time. So why wait? Come on down to Timber Tavern, Gluckstadt's own entertainment hub where unforgettable memories are made every day. Ready to join the fun? Visit us at timbertavernaxe.com or give us a call at 601-707-2580 to book your lane today.
Welcome back to El Ranchito Restaurant and the Checkdown with Coach Mitchell. We're in our final segment today, which is brought to you by Bank Plus. It's more than a name, it's a promise. Joined by Athletic Director, Coach Greg Perry. Coach, how you doing today?
Man, I'm good. I'm excited. It's a great day. The weather's beautiful. Right here in the shadows of Germantown High School. What more could you ask for?
I think his sports marketing group really likes it when we film over here.
I just told the guy, I said, look, if you need to bill me for that. And he's like, no, we're good. So they like coming over here.
Well, we couldn't do it without them, that's for sure. Well, a lot been going on, as we say every week. You got your notes over there. Why don't you go ahead and I know you want to talk about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We're gonna wait though if we can. Yeah, you want to hold off on that. Let's take care of our own people first. Where you been? What you been up to? Who's winning? And how's things going?
Yeah, well, after a big win on Friday night, of course, I was able to go over to Choctaw Trail Saturday morning. If you've never been over there, you need to go. It's an exciting thing watching 100+ young men and women run down that hill at one time. It's pretty neat. Our girls over there in the cross country state championship had a 10th place finish, and our boys finished in 8th place. And a name that we talk about a lot is freshman Perry Hurst. Had a 3rd place overall finish out of over 100 runners.
Wow.
And he's only a freshman, and he's got a lot of upside. And I know that the two guys that finished ahead of him are underclassmen also, but not as young as him. So he's got a chance to grow and overtake them. I believe he will. He's that hard of a worker. So obviously the big win. We got a big game here on Thursday night with Murrah. Looking forward to that with senior night, as y'all talked about earlier. It's a big night, exciting night for all our senior athletes. And tonight we opened up with basketball season, which is exciting with Jim Hill coming to town. I talked to Coach Glasgow and Coach Love this morning. They're excited to see the product that they're going to put on the court. It's always better when you're playing somebody else.
Yeah.
And, sometimes you get tired of practicing. It's time to play, and I think that's it for tonight. And our soccer opened up over the weekend. They went up to Hernando and competed, and I know Coach Bobo and Coach Markic went up there to search for some good competition, and I know they play great soccer up north. And our girls defeated Center Hill 3-0, and they lost in PKs to Hernando. Now, you and I probably don't know what that means.
I was going to say, y'all
need
a little.
We didn't win the game, but I think we were tied at the end of regulation.
Okay.
And then we what they call penalty kicks. Hernando was able to get us there in the end, but I think a good start for them.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Which I think they ought to do all games like that. I think it'd be
I was
great.
going to say, you could probably decide more of them quicker if you did it
That's
that
right.
way. Yeah.
That's right, especially on one of them cold nights.
Oh, man. That's nothing like a cold soccer game.
That's for sure. Boys went up there with them. They lost 1-0 to Hernando and tied Center Hill 2-2. Kind of Coach Bobo's debut against some really good competition. So the great news is they get to go again tonight against your alma mater is Neshoba Central. So they'll be coming in town, and they always play extremely hard. They got some talent over there. So excited about that. Our JV boys team in soccer beat Florence last night 1-0, and so we've had a lot going on as always, and we're excited about that. I think our kids are performing well, and our coaches are doing well, and of course our football team's rolling, which is a big deal for us, and a lot of exciting things happening here.
Well, I'll be at soccer. Where are you going to be tonight?
I'm going to be at basketball, but I might come see you a little
You always pick the one inside.
That's right. If it's not going to be too cold tonight, I might roll over with you for a little while.
Well, come on over if you. I'm excited too. Also, you got, if you live in Gluckstadt and want to watch some good basketball, you got two former state champions and one defending state champion, again, that open up tonight here at home. So get out and see those.
Yeah.
What else going on?
Man, that's it. We just, we need to remind everybody that, we are still a clear bag policy, and we've done a really good job of that. We've had a few little incidents where we've had to send some people back to the cars, but don't be offended if we do, because that is the policy of the district, and we have plenty signage out to see before you get there.
And that's all athletic events, too. So I think some people getting kind of confused. We hadn't had that much going on outside of football. Cross country doesn't run at home.
That's
you got
golf
doesn't have a golf course at home. So, but these are all athletic events
now
on
that
the
we
campus.
have soccer and basketball starting, we're going to get a lot more of that. More people on campus with home games. So.
All right, well, I know you want to ask about my. I see you holding out over there.
No,
but,
I'd like to. Won't you tell us?
Coach
how you
Mitchell
feel about
wouldn't bring it up. I wanted at least somebody to walk me into the. No, got to brag on my Los Angeles Dodgers. I told y'all 3 weeks ago this was going to happen. I had a little bit of folks kind of going against me on there, but no, it was exciting. Obviously, weekend for the Hardy family.
About it?
What's that?
As a former baseball coach, I just appreciate a guy that's making that much money to want to win bad enough for his team to pitch 24 hours after he threw
that was amazing.
However many pitches that was.
That was amazing, and
I think this day and age, most people would refuse to do that.
I don't know of very many that would have gone out and done that. I thought that was impressive, and I caught the little dig about the money. I know everybody says the Dodgers spend a lot of money, but you can't say a word. Now, you told me from the time we got in this business, your big saying was that you'd never seen a mule win the Kentucky Derby. So you got to pay. You get what you pay for. And the Los Angeles Dodgers are paying a lot of money, but they're winning some
I
World
just
Series
appreciate
too.
the love for his team. I mean, I think that's a big deal. And you could if you watched all those interviews, every one of them talked about what a great guy he was and how hard how bad he wanted to win for the Dodgers and the community, or the city. So, impressive.
Well, taking that a step further, and then we're going to get back on track. But he came from Japan. In Japan, they throw 200-pitch bullpens, and I've always said Americans could learn a little bit from that.
Yeah,
that's why that guy was ready to go to him. When you throw in 200-pitch bullpens, pitching on back-to-back days.
Well, I've coached a lot of baseball games, and we've always said the only way to get better is to throw.
That's right.
And but we've steered away from that over the past couple, past 10 years. So.
Well, let's go ahead and close out another episode of the Checkdown here with Coach Mitchell and Coach Perry. We appreciate you coming by as always. Good to have you on a day where you actually got to spend a good bit of time with us. Doesn't always work out that way, but thanks for coming by.
Appreciate getting to talk a little baseball in the end.
I like that. It's like old times again. For Athletic Director, Coach Greg Perry, Head Football Coach Russell Mitchell, and the, in my opinion, best sports information director in the state of Mississippi, Austin Blaine back there, who brings this to you each week along with your live stream on Friday nights and more live streams to come now that soccer, basketball have started up. I'm Brian Hardy reminding you that nothing brings us together quite like Maverick Athletics. We'll see you Thursday night at the ranch, 7 o'clock kick.
At Community Bank, we're not just bankers. We're Little League soccer coaches. ballet teachers,
Thank you so much for coming in.
and volunteer firemen. We're part of the community just like you. And we care about all the same things you do. So whether you're opening your first account or taking ballet, we're committed to our community. Community Bank for over 120 years.